Processed foods. So my mentor, Fred Bishi, taught me something critical early on when we met, which is that the way to look at diet is focusing on what you can leave out of your diet more than what you actually include in your diet. And that is the key to success. So it's what you leave out of your diet that allows your body to be in optimal health. And the first thing to find your way through is to leave out or to completely eliminate processed foods. Processed foods are a curse, an absolute curse on mankind. Processed foods start with white, refined sugar, white flour, pastas, processed grains, certainly sodas, cookies, crackers, candies. But processed foods have become so ubiquitous, which means they're so present now, that it's even hard for intelligent people to figure out what qualifies as a processed food. A coffee bean, for example, could be loaded with chemicals to make it more flavorful, to make it last, to resist mold, to amplify its taste. That's a processed food. The chemicals can have a negative impact on your chemistry or on someone's already compromised immune system if they have that a weak immune system. So processed foods are factory-raised cattle and chicken, farm-raised fish that are fed corn, genetically modified organisms that are modified to resist insects. All these things over time cumulatively have a negative impact on our chemistry. And if you don't believe that, then you just have to look around and see in this incredible modern age of medicine, our rate of disease is increasing, not decreasing. Obesity and cancer plague humankind, not just the Western kind. So, it's not me just being paranoid. I don't get paid to shout from the rooftop that processed foods are bad and then I get a paycheck from that. I think there's really nobody in our society left that would believe that processed food is better than wholesome foods. So I think really the question becomes is how do you help people wean themselves off of processed foods? I believe the first step for myself was to just identify the addiction to stimulating foods and to processed foods, i.e. processed sugar, processed carbohydrates. The laziness of not wanting to seek out a better type of food, or the lack of willpower that the taste of a Pringles potato chip was so irresistible that I just gave into it and I ate it. And then whatever they put in the Pringles sets up the phenomenon of craving very easily. So I want it again, or I have to go somewhere else that serves something that's similar. So you get caught like a hamster running around one of those little training wheels, those little exercise wheels. You get caught in the dysfunction of corporate greed, so to speak, corporations who care nothing about your health. They just care about selling you their food. And we're also victims of the health industry. The health industry, who's supposed to be protecting us, they don't seem to know very much about food. So it's really still a self-help program. And the application of this knowledge is a slow application. You don't have to wait until you're sick or to someone right next to you is sick before you decide that you want to eliminate processed food. And it's a difficult process because food is our primary number one addiction because it can make us feel good. Food can make us feel euphoric. Food is deeply attached to our emotions. So the food you grew up on and the food you're addicted to is likely to be the thing that you're stuck with for the rest of your life. So it's a slow practice to first recognize the addiction, to recognize where processed food is seeping into your life, and then slowly over time make the changes that are necessary. Fresh juice is an antidote to processed food, in my opinion. As long as you're flooding your body with nutrients and the hydration and the alkalization and the calories of juice, the cravings for the processed food can diminish. That's been the case for me. So I've made my lifestyle centered around smoothies, juice, and salad, and over the course of 2 or 3 years, I found myself completely uninterested in processed food. When I look at food that I see in the supermarket, I oftentimes look at it and cannot understand how anybody identifies certain things as food, which it's not. Thank you.